Episode 1, The Man on the Porch. In late 2019, I was home alone in a quiet town outside Dayton. My parents were away, and the house felt unusually silent. Late that night, I noticed a life-sized holiday figure standing on our porch. I was sure it hadn't been there before. Hours later, I realized it wasn't a decoration. The figure moved. A man in a costume was standing inches from the door, staring inside. When he tried to force his way in, I called the police. He ran before they arrived, leaving the costume behind. They never found him. That was the first time I learned that silence doesn't always mean safety. Episode 2, The Car That Followed Me. Years earlier, during a night drive through the mountains between Utah and Northern California, my car ran out of gas. I was alone, surrounded by trees, with no signal. A gray sedan stopped behind me. The driver didn't speak, he just stared. After a few minutes, he drove off and disappeared into the woods. I thought it was over, until hours later, when I saw the same car at a gas station. Then on the highway, then right behind me. The chase ended when he crashed trying to hit my car. Inside his vehicle, police found a loaded weapon. They never explained why he chose me. Episode 3, Someone at the Doors. When I was a child in West Texas, my sister and I were home alone during a winter storm. Late at night, someone tried the front door, then the back door. Hard, violent, repeated. We hid until the police arrived. They found footprints circling the house. Someone had been watching us before trying to get in. We never learned who it was. Episode 4, The Night Shift. In my early 20s, I worked alone overnight at a small gas station in rural Ohio. One night, just before dawn, a man arrived on a scooter. He didn't come inside. He didn't leave. He stood outside the glass doors, staring at me. When I refused to unlock the door, he began pounding on the glass. Slow, deliberate hits. Then suddenly, he vanished. No engine sound. No footsteps. Nothing. At sunrise, I found dirt marks where his scooter had been. No tracks showing where he went. I never reported it, but that 5 minutes changed me. Episode 5, The Roommate. After that job, I moved to a new city for cheap housing and lived with a woman named Lena. She said her family lived with us, but I never saw them. Instead, I heard voices at night. Voices that repeated the same phrases. I later discovered she used recordings to manipulate her roommates and keep them isolated. When I found evidence that the previous tenant had died under suspicious circumstances, I left without telling her. She tried to contact me for months afterward. I never answered. Episode 6, The Figure in the Snow. In early 2023, I went winter camping alone. Late at night, I heard footsteps circling my tent. I looked out and saw a hooded figure standing at the edge of the trees, watching me silently. When I blinked, it was gone. In the morning, there were almost no tracks in the snow, just enough to prove I hadn't imagined it. Final episode, Quiet Doesn't Mean Safe. None of these moments were ever fully explained. No arrests, no answers. But they taught me something important. Silence doesn't mean you're alone. Sometimes it means someone is close enough to be quiet. And sometimes they're waiting.